Happy New Year, it's 2024. My name is Anwar and this is my rundown of 2023. 2023 was my biggest year so far in stand-up comedy, so let's start off by talking about the biggest thing that I did last year, and that was the biggest gig that I've ever done. 460 people in Wrexham in a place called Brumbo, Wales. Now, at the same time, I managed to tick off something that's been on my bucket list for a while, and it was kind of a secret goal. It was something that I never told anyone about because I'll be honest with you, I felt a little bit self-conscious when I had this goal. I didn't want to tell people because I didn't want people to, crap on me and, say, oh, you're not going to be able to do it and that. So I kept this one a secret. And now what the goal was is that I wanted to open up for somebody who I saw as a child on TV. So someone who's doing their solo show, but not just anyone, but somebody that I watched growing up on TV. And it was this show was Clinton Baptiste doing his show, and I was on right before him, warming the crowd up for him. I did about 20-25 minutes and it went really, really well. It was a kind of gratifying moment of not just have you been trusted in front of 460 paying people on a Friday night in Wales, but at the same time they've all had a really good time. So many people coming up to me afterwards saying how much of it, they enjoyed it and that kind of thing. And I'm not the kind of person who likes to pat myself on the back after a gig and say that I did well. You'll never hear me say that. If you come up to me and say, oh, well done, I'll usually say, oh, thanks, I thought it went all right, because I'm always thinking about what more could I got out of it. Could I got more laughs? Could I got higher laughs? Could I got longer applause breaks? Stuff like that. So just being able to sit back and do this video and kind of look back on last year, it's a nice moment. It didn't just end there though with Clinton. I then went on to support him the next night in Accrington.
I'm getting the word nonce.
275 people in paid. Again, I had a really fun time on stage, people enjoying it, and afterwards I got approached on social media. Some of them paid me to go to their business and perform for people there. A corporate gig came from it, which we love to see that. I got to perform in 6 different countries this year, which for someone like me, I'm culturally diverse. If you've seen my stand-up comedy, you know that I really appreciate different cultures. So getting to perform in 6 different countries in people's second languages, I really appreciate those opportunities, and getting to learn their culture a little bit, play around with their stereotypes along with British stereotypes, and just finding where those intersections are. Oh, I love doing stuff like that. All in all, I managed to perform 167 times this year through those 6 different countries. But let's talk a little bit about what happened domestically this year. I managed to perform at 3 of the major UK clubs. First of all, the Frog and Bucket in Manchester, then Hot Water Comedy Club in Liverpool, and then to top it off, the Glee Club in Birmingham. Now, getting to play at these clubs, it's like stepping up from kind of Sunday league football to like pro club football. You're getting in there, you're going, right, okay, this is my chance to test myself. I can score goals on my Sunday league team, but what's it going to be like? Can I make them laugh in the clubs? And when you can make them laugh in the clubs, the feeling that you get, and go, again, it's that extra bit of vindication to be like, okay, I'm on the right path here. I did something this year that I would never usually do. I entered a talent competition. Now, let me explain a little something to you. Talent competitions are a place where comedians really struggle because people aren't really there for jokes. They want to see some dancing, they want to see some music and dance themselves and that kind of thing. Comedy, they don't really want to sit there and listen to your jokes. So when I saw this advertised, I thought, you know what, I'll leave it for whoever wants to apply for that kind of thing. They can go and do it, they can go and win. I didn't even apply for it. Then I saw them specifically looking for comedians. I knew it was for charity, and I thought, you know what, if they're looking for comedians, it's quite close to home, I'll do it. The thing was called Stars for a Night. It was based in Bolton. It was open to anyone doing any kind of artistic format and anyone who has any kind of links to Bolton. So I go, do you know what, I'll apply. I apply, they asked me to audition, so I go down to the audition, right? And halfway through, I'm seeing on their faces that they're really enjoying it, the judges in the audition, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm onto something here. They're actually really enjoying this. I thought it'd be the opposite way around, that they'd be going, oh, bloody hell, comedian. A bloody comedian. What are you? A comedian. You know, that kind of attitude. But they weren't. I'll be honest, the closest I can say to how happy they were was when I go to my parents' house, how happy they are when they receive. That's how it was like. It was pure love in the room. So I do the audition. I'm thinking, do you know what? I think that went well. They called me back for the final, right? I turn up at the final, and it's all musicians, singers, apart from me and another comedian who is from Yorkshire, lives in Southport, but just went to uni in Bolton back in the day, a guy called Kev O'Brien. Good guy, Kev O'Brien, right? Nice fella. Now, Kevin goes on third. Before him is two young girls who were singers and absolutely smashed it. I literally laughed at Kevin. I went, listen mate, I'm glad it's you and not me. I would hate to go up right now because they are not going to be ready for comedy. He goes up there. He does a decent job, to be fair to him. He does a decent job. Especially in that circumstance, he did a really good job in that circumstance. Like, he did a good job. I'm on in the second half. I go up there and I'm thinking, do you know what? Kev's done a decent job. I'm just going to do my jokes. It's not going to go as bad as I thought it would go. I did my jokes. I did about 5 minutes. That's all they wanted. And, I felt like it went well. But I thought, you know what? If I place top 3, I'll be happy. I'll be happy with that. It comes to the voting, and they picked me to win. And I was gassed, to be fair. I was gassed because I thought all these singers were really, really good. I felt a little bit bad for them. I mean, everyone was kind of hyping me afterwards, going, oh, you did such a good job this, you did such a good job that. I felt a little bit uncomfortable saying that about myself, but yeah, looking at it afterwards and seeing that, Bolton FM, the local radio station, Bolton News, obviously the local newspaper, the mayor of Bolton, they were on the judging panel. And the fact that these elements of the local community were on the judging panel and they chose me as the winner really gave me that sense of kind of belonging with Bolton and that kind of sense of like, okay, the town's kind of getting behind you a little bit now, because that's something that I do really want, because I love to represent my town, and that is something that going forward you're going to see more and more from me, how much I represent this town. I also went to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival this year, something that I'd heard is a massive waste of money, and I'll be honest with you, I lost probably over £500 while being there. Well, more than that. I'd say close to £1,000 when you look at everything in terms of transport, how much your accommodation costs. Bear in mind I was there for 6 nights. Transport, accommodation, food, money missed out on because I was in Edinburgh and I wasn't taking gigs back here. I missed out on a lot by being there. However, I gained a hell of a lot from it as well. One, it's a great networking opportunity, meeting up with other comics around your level from all over, not just the UK but the world. That was like a really good experience. But also as well, I managed to pick up like about 30 different spots in 6 nights. It was like a boot camp for comedy. It's like, okay, come here, perform as often as you can within these 6 days. And I actually felt like I came out of it a better performer. I had a couple of media appearances this year. I featured obviously on Bolton FM after I won the Stars for a Night competition, but also I featured on BBC Radio Leicester because I'm going to be doing my solo show. I'm going to be touching on that later on, but I'm going to be doing that in February at Leicester Comedy Festival. So the organiser of the festival got in touch with me and said, listen, I'm going on BBC Radio Leicester tomorrow to launch the festival. Do you want to come on with me? Now when Charlotte did that, the lady who runs Leicester Comedy Festival now, when she did that again just gave me that bit of a rubber stamp to be like, listen, I trust you and I think that you are a good candidate as somebody to come on with me and sell this festival to people, to show to people this is a quality product that we're bringing. So the fact that she asked me to do that, honestly, I thought it was like that rubber stamp, like I said before, and it really gave me that kind of motivation to be like, yeah, I need to push myself moving forward and keep on building in that direction. I also featured on a couple of podcasts this year. I featured on, excuse me, the Five-A-Side podcast, which is technically not released. It's released, but not released. It's released, it's not released. It's out there, but he's not really plugging it. And we've also, excuse me, I was also on the Lethal Weapons podcast. That was loads of fun, that one. I actually want to go back on that one in the future. I'm kind of touching base with those guys, and I know that they're kind of messing with the format next year, but yeah, hopefully be back on that soon. And hopefully do kind of more of these mainstream media appearances, but also this new rise, that podcast kind of media appearances as well. I mentioned before the biggest gig that I've ever done in terms of numbers. Well, let me tell you about now the biggest thing I've ever done in stand-up comedy, and that is taking the plunge into doing my own solo show. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all in stand-up comedy for, is we all want to do our own thing by ourselves. Now, again, let me fill you in. When it comes to stand-up comedy, it's kind of like an ensemble thing. It's like a buffet approach. You get multiple acts on one night, so then the audience can go, okay, I liked a little bit of this and a little bit of that and all of that one and none of this one, but I can't wait for the dessert at the end. You know, it's kind of that kind of approach where you want to give them a little bit of everything. But all the acts who go on to do their own solo show, what happens is when you do your own solo show, you're in front of the people who know you. Whether that's they directly know you because they're your friends from childhood and they're just paying to come and see you. That's the low end of it when you start to do your solo show. Or whether it's got a name for yourself, whether you got millions and billions of fans and then they all see you on TV and they go, wow, I know this guy, I want to go see him live and in person, and they know your kind of humour and that kind of thing. And there's everywhere in the middle as well. Now I'm at the beginnings of my solo career, basically. I'm at the beginnings of that now. I did it for the first time at Nottingham Comedy Festival, and truth be told, I sold 16 tickets that night. 16 tickets in maybe a 50-seater room. On the surface, you probably look at that and go, whoa, you ate one there, didn't you? But I see it as the complete opposite way around. I saw it as 16 human beings chose to buy tickets to come and see me do stand-up comedy, and especially because I'm right at the start of this journey. Me having 16 people in, I thought that was brilliant and fantastic, and that was the first time I'd ever done the show and sold tickets to do it. I'd done the show one time before and it was at the Ape and Apple in Manchester, the Comedy Balloon. They do previews before Edinburgh, and one week they just didn't have anyone to do it, someone dropped out. So I said, listen, I'll come and do it. They don't sell tickets to it, but it's an opportunity for you to go and perform it. Now I'd done that, I'd practiced it one time in front of an audience, a small audience, but an audience still. But this was the first time I was getting to do it in front of an audience that paid. And it went so well. I was so happy with it performance-wise. I felt like I did a good job. I didn't feel like I did an excellent job. It was only my first time. I'm comfortable with how it went. But I spoke to the audience afterwards because it was such small numbers. I could speak to everyone on the way out. Not only could I speak to everyone on the way out, but people were waiting for me. If I had my back turned, they'd come from behind, just pat me on the back going, Adam, I'm really sorry, I've got to go. But I just wanted to say, I really, really enjoyed that. Like, that was really, really good. And the fact that people were doing that to me at the end of my solo show really gave me that kind of fire inside to be like, I cannot wait to do this again. Now I'm doing it next year at Leicester Comedy Festival, hopefully do it a lot more, but all that is going to be included in a future goals video. And while we're on the subject of goals, let's talk about what my goals were for 2023, because I'll be honest, I completed all of my goals this year. Some of them, I just destroyed them, I blew them out of the water. So here they were, one by one. Goal number one was I wanted to make money doing stand-up comedy. And what that means is, not just someone to pay me one time, because that's happened loads of times in the past. I was doing a running total through the entire year of all my incomings and my outgoings for comedy. Every time I left the house, what did I have to get the train? £6.70 to Manchester, boom, that's what it is, £6.70, I'm in the minus now. Go out again, I'm in the minus. It was all about doing more gigs, more paid gigs, so that money could start to climb and climb and climb like that. Over the course of the year, I ended up making money. If you look at everything combined, I made way more money than I lost this year, and I'm buzzing with that. Now hopefully that carries on in this kind of emotion, but we're on the right track. Okay, next goal was I wanted to be happy with my 20-minute set. Going into the year, I was happy with about 15 of it, and if you asked me to do 20 minutes, I could do it. But 5 minutes of it here and there, like 2-3 minutes here, 2 minutes there, like that kind of thing, would be a little bit weaker. I've gone from the stage where I've been happy with 15 to the point where I'm happy with like 40 minutes of my solo show now. Like, I can't believe the progress in terms of that I've made in the last year, with how much I've grown as an act, to be able to get more juice out of the squeeze for some of the jokes that I weren't so happy with in the past, and then also to create new stuff to kind of fill out even more time and create better jokes than I had in the past as well. So that was another goal. Another goal is I wanted to do 150 gigs this year. I think I told you I did 167. So again, I smashed that like about a month ago. I managed to beat that one out. And beyond that, I don't think I had any other goals. what I've done is I recorded a goals video on the 1st of January 2023 and it's released today, the 1st of January 2024, so you can see what all my goals were. And I did it to hold myself accountable. Those are the things that I wanted to achieve last year. I recorded them that day, and I put them out there so it will come live now, so that I'll be held accountable. And I'm so buzzing that I've done it. I've got some goals to record after this. They'll release in a year's time. Let's see if I can hold myself responsible then. Oh, I wanted to grow on my social medias as well, which let's just take a little look. I don't have the numbers here, but yeah, I've grown them all. I hit 10,000 on TikTok this year, which was massive. I hit 7,000 something on Instagram, which is good. That was up from 5,000 something and 7,000 something pre 2022. So I managed to achieve those goals as well. That's it. That is my 2023 year in review. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching this. If you made it all the way through, thank you. I greatly appreciate you guys so much. If you have enjoyed it, let me know. I can make these a habit in the future, and hopefully the stuff that I'm talking about gets bigger and bigger and bigger as the years go on. And that's my pledge to myself, and hopefully I can make that happen. But honestly, you guys, thank you so much. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button down below. Comments and all that, and thumbs up is all great. We all know that it helps to get pushed out to more people. But ultimately, thank you for the support. Like, because you think this is something that people just say, but I can only speak for myself, but how much it truly means to me that people support me out there. And you can feel it as well, as the more support that you're getting, is the better stuff you can do in comedy, and the bigger stuff you can do, and the more that you can make stuff back with people. And yeah, honestly, it all comes back down to you guys. So thank you so much. Hopefully see you in a year's time.